I love Minecraft videos, but I only like to watch them for about 12 seconds at a time, and I also hate having choice over what I watch, which is why TikTok is great. And look at these amazing seeds that I see on TikTok. You don't even have to look at them for that long because the video after 5 seconds will skip you straight into the next one. These seeds do look astounding, mostly due to the shaders they put on. Here's what it looks like without them. It's a little bit less impressive, but the idea is still great until you realize it's just a single peek at a seed. It's a single image, basically, of what is meant to be an entire Minecraft world, and so the problem arises when you actually load up these worlds, which is what I'm going to be doing today, loading up popular TikTok seeds for real to show you what they're really like. With that said, if you have an attention span of more than 5 seconds, have you considered subscribing to the channel where we dive into the reality of lots of things around Minecraft, including the latest news? With that said though, let's talk about this amazing looking seed. It's called a Mangrove Cove, and it looks incredible from this image, but as soon as you type in the seed, you'll realize it's very different, with the most obvious way being that you spawn underwater, almost drowning. This is a bit of a downside to a seed, to say the least, and even when you get out of this, you'll see immediately there's just this stone above you. It isn't anywhere near as pretty as it looked in that image, and in fact, what you're going to have to do if you want to recreate that is walk over to the mangrove biome, which is the worst first tree to chop down, by the way. There's so many leaves you have to chop down, and you have to climb up the trees just to get a couple of these blocks. Then you have to float up this big column of water, place all of your blocks, and then at the top of this, you've got this amazing view that you might have craved. Honestly, it is a nice seed, it is a great view, but it is a little bit misleading to say this is just the one thing you're going to see, and the same is true for this second seed. This one was called Jerry's Jungle. This has over 1 million likes on TikTok, so it's gotta be good, and ultimately, this is what you actually spawn with. There is a jungle in front of you, and you can vaguely see a mountain to your left. Maybe if you stop for a quick snack break and get some blocks and put a lot of time into parkouring, then you'll be able to see this jungle biome from the top of one of these mountains, but very quickly you'll start to question, what is the point of this for an actual survival world? It makes for an amazing image that could make a thumbnail or could make a great screenshot of a later world, but what are you going to do if you're actually playing survival here? You could chop down the trees and have this beautiful area that later could be turned into something. However, for playing early on, you're going to need to leave this place a lot, and it's going to be very frustrating to have to climb over the mountain every single time. This seed is amazing if you love jungle wood and you really want to get your hands on coal and iron, and don't forget the emeralds. But the reality of this seed is it's going to take a lot of work to turn it into something great. A lot more than I could see was put into this TikTok right here, but this second one was just one that immediately inspired me. I have to see what this savannah village is all about, and so let's do that precisely now. By the way, for any of these to work, we have to manually type in the seed from the video, which is annoying if you're playing on the same device that you're typing in the seed for, but that's fine. The victory village is probably worth it, right? I hope. So instinctively, I assume something is wrong with this because I've spawned in a jungle, but just in case, I'm gonna try and head to the rough coordinates for the video and just look around until I find something that looks like a victory village and not like the most generic jungle seat spawn I've ever seen. To be fair to this, some of the jungle's in a beach or desert, it seems, so we get these lovely wilted leaves. But otherwise, there's also, yeah, there's literally a desert. There's cacti here. So it's pretty great for that, but the real surprise in the show is this, a desert well. I've made fun of these for so long, but this is actually going to be useful soon. But right now, it's a source of water in a desert, something you just can't find anywhere else, famously. And so yeah, if we just head a little bit further this way, we might find that village. But I can't imagine so, because it was surrounded by water, right? The coordinates or the seed must be wrong. So I've gone all the way to the coordinates from the video, and I can safely say that this just isn't it. There is something fundamentally incorrect about how they typed in the seed, maybe how I took it from them. I could give this one more try, just in case it was me. Okay, I'm putting these two numbers on screen next to each other. I really thought this was gonna be the first example of a seed that is genuinely a great challenge and that you would spawn nearby it, but no, it's just an amazing looking seed. But they also put the number in wrong. And what accountability is there? The way that TikTok is based, it's not based on people liking the video or watching a great way through. It's based on engagement. It's based on all these other factors, which won't affect whether or not the seed actually works. And so do you want to have a victory village? Well, if so, apparently not from this particular TikTok. But you know, I still have hope. We're still going to load up some more of these just in case, because even though a million people liked this and it doesn't work, that's not going to put me off. By the way, can I also mention, as well as these over-the-top shaders, it's a little bit ridiculous that they say trigger warning aesthetic. That's going to be the most frustrating thing I've ever seen, but this is a Lush Mountain, and honestly, it does look damn good, right? Let's find out what it's actually like by typing it in and hoping that it is correct, I guess. By the way, the description for this says Minecraft seeds for Java and Bedrock 1.19, which it's important to note that with seeds like that last one, the structures are going to be different, and so whatever. It's important to note that, yeah, I'm spawning right here. I assume this is by the side of those beautiful Lush Mountain caves, but I have to just walk up there and hope for the best. Honestly, a lot of really high up seeds since Caves and Cliffs have made for these amazing aesthetic images, but also make for such a hard experience to actually get there. It's not just that I have to go 100 blocks that way, it's that I have to go 100 blocks upwards as well. But I guess I can do that. Let's chop down some trees. Let's get the blocks we need for this. Oh look, there's an azalea tree right here near spawn. That actually is somewhat interesting, I guess, to see it in a spruce. But I mean, there's another one over there too. So we got a lot of azalea trees, and if we can just keep climbing, we might find something nice, something beautiful. I don't think I mentioned yet, by the way, but this seed has 1.3 million likes. TikTok doesn't have view counts public, so who knows what that means. But this is a horrendously popular seed video, and it's recommending a seed where the survival experience is just a little bit of a chore going uphill. I mean, some people are into that, but I think most people picture when there's a seed like this that you spawn at the top and you get to decide whether you're going down into it or not. And this is not what I'm getting necessarily. I mean, definitely not my definition of those words. But maybe when we get closer, okay, we're almost there now. This is such a fun experience. I'm having the time of my life. When I saw a lush cave surrounded by mountains, I surely assumed what that would really mean is a huge amount of work in climbing into the mountain just so I can jump into the the caves below it. Honestly, what's the point of caves if you don't have cliffs you have to climb to get into them? Famously, most people, okay, we're gonna make some planks. We're just gonna have to start stacking up. This is at that level of ridiculousness, but we're almost there, right? We're almost, nope. Okay, wait, so you can sort of see the lush cave over here, and then also from up here, we can see, ooh, is there something else? Narrator, there was not something else. Instead, there was just more climbing to do. Honestly, climbing a mountain is something fun if you've never done it before. I just don't think most people are excited to climb a mountain with the sole intent of being like, hey, you know what the best thing about being at the top of one of these things is? It's when you're up here, you can... Oh, I thought there was a cave hole on this, but I guess I'm at the top of the mountain, which means the cave hole must be over here? No, it's not. Oh. There's no coordinates listed on this seed. It just says it's at spawn. But clearly it's not, right? Where's the giant hole in it? Is this... Did I miss the giant hole? You can't just say at spawn and then it's not at spawn. Okay, so we've got our second questionable seed. Again, it's kind of nice to have frozen peaks. A lot of people might not have seen a seed with one of these yet, so it's a great opportunity, don't get me wrong. But I mean, otherwise... otherwise. Okay, never mind. It's on the other side of the mountain. You have to cross this entire thing, but then you'll see it's a lush cave inside of a mountain. In fact, it's actually a layer cooler than that. It's a lush cave with, oh god, I hope I make it. I hope I make it. It's a lush cave with below that being a deep dark. It is really rare to see a deep dark go this far above the ground, by the way. That is actually pretty cool. If there was an ancient city down here, that would be an easy recommendation. How often do you see a deep dark biome that's so exposed to light? Not very often. I mean, again, it's not the same beautiful view you'd get from a creative shot from hundreds of blocks away, but that this exists at all is at least somewhat interesting. So, this seed, I'm going to give this, a decent, our first seed that I could actually recommend, just maybe, mention where it is we've got to go. And in this particular video, I can tell you, go to these coordinates, you won't regret it. It's definitely not at spawn, unless at spawn is used very loosely. And so it's nice. Would recommend. Okay, next up we've got Best Spawn Seeds, which, I mean, I assume is meant to mean spawn. And honestly, this first one called Chunky was not very impressive to me. Like, okay, it's a cool chunk, I guess. Again, looks great in a screenshot, but you can tell by even loading it up that it's not going to be something special. But this mega mushroom seems like something incredible. I had to type that in right away and see exactly what's going on with this seed. Because this seed got 1.8 million likes and... Wait, is it... Am I missing something quite key? This was the best spawn seeds. Literally, the whole video, the thing that got 1.8 million likes was the fact that it was at spawn. You can't say best spawn seeds and then it not even be visible from the spawn. What is your definition of spawn? You know, this is the problem. There is, I think there's even a benefit to a seed like this, which makes you go back and check, like, did you get the right seed? Because you're going to engage with the TikTok over and over and over again. And, you know, TikTok doesn't know that's because you're infuriated by it. The algorithm just knows, wow, this TikTok is so good, you came back to look for it again. I have no idea where this is meant to be. So I'm just gonna have to look around, I guess. Honestly, this mushroom biome is beautiful. I didn't know you could find oak wood and sunflowers in the mushroom biome before, but I guess this is such a good seed that you can just do both of those things. But just on the off chance that this mushroom biome does change a little bit, looks a bit more traditional somewhere else, hypothetically, not that I'm saying that would happen, of course, let's get in a boat and let's start sailing, just in case. This isn't what a mushroom biome looks like. I mean, I did just see a video. Oh, wait, look at that. Aha! Yes. So that is what spawn means. If you walk to the edge of the island you spawn on, and then make a boat, then you will be able to go to what is at spawn. I'm personally someone who believes a lot in sharing the truth. If the truth isn't good enough, then, you know, like, there's a chance that you're wording it wrong, but in most cases, if the truth isn't good enough, then that's a sign that there's something wrong with what you're saying. You don't have to lie to people. You can say there's a mushroom biome near the spawn, and if it's massive, that's still incredibly interesting. I don't think, you know, I think in most cases, lying is genuinely counterproductive. It's the easy thing to do, but it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do, but I mean, everyone knows that. But it's also not even the effective thing to do. I would be just as impressed by this seed if I learned it was just a small boat ride away from spawn, and then I might actually respect the person who showed it to me a little bit more. Look at this. There's floating mushroom. There's a floating mushroom, and then there's like a little bit cut off over there. Looks like this maybe should be a part of that. Like, there's a huge mushroom island. I don't think I've seen one this size in a very long time. It's hilariously large. It's a big, interesting thing, but why did we have to lie about the fact that it's at spawn? That's what I don't understand. There are so many great truths to tell. Why would you tell the lie? And that is something I try my best to do in my everyday life, but also here on YouTube. And it's also and that's why it's so confusing when other people don't. But, you know, I'm sure this was just a fluke. There are more seeds out there with even more likes than 1.8 million. That seems ridiculous. But I've got another one of these today, and yes, they insist on using the notch face every time. It's fine, but look at this. The coastal cliff. That looks like something insane, right? I don't know where you spawn, but it's got to look crazy on either side of it. And so let's load up the coastal cliff, and let's see if this is the redeeming factor, maybe. Right off the bat, I do have to say, wow, yeah, this is an interesting spawn. I'm on top of some stone. I'm surrounded by other stone. There's a stony mountain right here, which is an interesting place to be. But then also there is a sheer drop of a cliff straight down to the water layer. I think that is incredible. Again, if you're going to have a sheer drop, if you're going to have an incredible cliff, you want to be on the top side of it. And I'm glad in this case, you're finally there. You can't get that amazing shot from the TikTok, sure, but you can get a really cool look at it from this angle at the very least, and that is stunning by itself. You can see there's also birch trees, spruce trees, and oak trees, so you get a little bit of diversity up here, but then also you've got this mountain which isn't very far to climb before it starts handing you giving you emeralds, sorry. So here is an emerald ore, that's an emerald ore up over there. You could actually get a fair number of emeralds from this seed, which is a fun change to how most people are used to doing Minecraft, right? I think it might be fun to, like, play a seed like this, deliberately try to see how fast you can get 100 emeralds, right? Wow, yeah, when you go to the top of this one, you realize that there is a whole world around it as well. It's a coastal cliff, which is interesting as heck by itself. I'm sure once you do build something, whether it's on this mountain or whether it's on the relatively flat ground over there, you will have some amazing aerial shots off it, which really fulfills everything you want in a seed. It is both it's an interesting survival experience, different to what you're used to. It has some terrain that is very, very interesting, but then also provides long-term world potential, because also tunneling through this mountain is a project you might want to embark upon. Also, when you build something, it kind of works with the terrain no matter what it is. You could build a crazy city. You could bridge across this and have a huge lip over it. You have all of the choices in the world, and I think that is beautiful. And actually, you know what? I was here to roast TikTok seeds today, but this is an example of how, yeah, you can find some amazing stuff out there, and you don't even have to lie. This was supposed to be at spawn. It was at spawn, and people liked that, clearly. This, again, I never want to be punching down at people too much. I never want to be saying, like, oh, these people suck, and, you know, like, TikTok's worse than YouTube, because YouTube is where the real stuff is at. But ultimately, I do want to say that you should value honesty in the world. It is something I value personally, but also I think it makes the world a better place when we all tell the truth. And so maybe if there's one thing you can learn from the craziness that is people desperate for TikTok followers, and maybe the one thing you could learn is it might make more sense to have a slower growth. It might make more sense to do slightly less well and to tell the truth than to do the reverse. But I don't actually think that's the decision you have to make. I think ultimately you will do better in many fields of life by just learning when to tell the truth and learning that that is more often than you might assume. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it interesting. I do think that I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to be scrolling TikTok looking for Minecraft videos anytime soon. But if you do like the idea of short Minecraft videos, then have you considered watching the YouTube videos I make here on this channel, but stopping every 10 seconds, watching a different video, and then coming back? That's something you can do if you subscribe, perhaps have those notifications turned on. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I want to use this seed for something, and I don't know what. And I guess I'll see you in whatever that is next time. Goodbye. Whee! Oh, that is such a cool fool. Ah, man, it's amazing. I love it. How this is just such a stunning seed on so many levels.